flap, 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 flap. All right. So, patch notes was today. So it was today at 2:34, and that was 12/13/2022. Okay. And these are effects of today. They were pushed out for today. I believe it was quoted. We're rolling out this update right now to address any key community concerns such as progress, balance changes, and bug fixes. And this is a very small patch. It's not like large. And I took a brief look at this when I was half asleep and I woke up. I took a brief look at this and I'm like, oh, sweet, cool, great, you know? So this is patch notes 0.19.56, but let's go on. So overall, everyone was complaining about progress, and I definitely mentioned progress in the other video leading up to release and everything. That progress was due to like how long the matches are going to be. That's how the XP determines. So now, in 1v1s and 2v2 matches, progress gets an additional 25% and arcade. So you're getting an extra 10%. I might as well just read this because I don't want to like butcher anything. Like I said, I skimmed it. With that in mind, in short term, we're increasing the XP gain for all queues. So that's 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, arcade, etc. So 1v1s, 2v2 matches were behind in turns and progress, of course, because they were before they were length in the time of the matches. And they're now going to be receiving an additional 25% compared to arcade queue to account for the difference in time to go for one match to the others. And individual matches are rewarding less XP. So in the long term, expect more systems allowing you to gain XP and boosters, but for the meantime, profit from your 50 boosters. So I think they're gonna excuse me. So what it sounds like, they're going to make this a thing right now, concerning they gave us a 50 boosters a weekend ago or so, just to make the boosters more beneficial. So again, the 10% increase and then the 1v1 and 2v2 are now getting 25% more compared to 3v3. And then on top of that, you get the 1.5 times when you win in duels or brawl, which is 2v2. That's awesome. That is a awesome, good coming out, good benefits coming out from the progression for now. They're probably going to tweak it some more, but they're just trying to benefit the 50 boosters that they gave us. God balances. I don't want to spoil that because I haven't seen it yet. So, God balances Izanami extended the end lag on abilities out of the air heavy. I don't know what that looks like. I didn't know what that looks like before because I didn't play a lot of Izanami until just recently. And I guess I could probably feel the difference when I play her now. We'll see. We'll probably give that a test. And then next we have Susano. Thank God. Thank God. Susano has too much pressure, has too much presence in fights, which he does. And we will address it fully in a later patch. For now, we're bringing his light attacks in line with the rest of the characters in order to make sure missing light attacks can be punished and that Susano cannot land light attacks in ways that are absurd. Okay? So reduced air distance of second light attack by 2 meters and reducing air distance on third light attack by 2 meters. So basically his air lights are going to be less significant. I still think he's going to be super strong. I don't think that's enough to nerf him, make him like in line with everyone. Definitely that's just a little bump down, like little kick down, but he's still up there. I want to say he's still really good. Thanatos. Oh, I heard so much about Thanatos. This is the one patch notes I kept seeing. Look at all this Thanatos. So Thanatos. Thanatos has been underperforming slightly, particularly in 1v1, so we've made a few changes to improve his visibility in solo fights. Some of his talents have been also returned to increase their usefulness across all queues. I know I just leaked all that, but we'll talk about it. So right off the bat, Thanatos, I'm surprised Thanatos actually got a buff. I didn't think he was underperforming. In my opinion, I think Thanatos was like in a right spot. Like people can play him and people couldn't play him. But apparently, you know, the player base really just determines his stats, to be honest. Like in a higher level, I feel like Thanatos is fine. He was fine where he was. From what I saw, what TV can do, and what I'm afraid I'm gonna see a bunch of Thanatos mains come out. Fanta. It's gonna be crazy. I've already seen like Thanatos in action with these buffs, and it's crazy. He's kind of gonna be a little too strong. But well, let's see. So his light attacks were increased in distance on his 1, 2, and 3. So 2 meters, 1 meter, 1 meter. I don't know what they were before. I wish they would tell you that, like what it was before. But yeah, no, that's a lot, to be honest. Like this, closing the distance, that's phenomenal. That's an extra 4 meters. Extra 4 meters. What? So like, okay, so like landing your first light would be like no problem. And then with that consecutively stunning you into the next auto, that's crazy. That is super crazy. So now we're going on to his held heavy attack, which I honestly hardly use. Increase hit window of held heavy attack. So I'm pretty sure it's going to increase the hitbox on it. Like you can hit more frequently with it. Again, I've hardly used his held heavy attack. Cool, maybe we'll hit it more often. We'll see. Like, I feel like this buff is fine. Because I don't think a lot of Thanatos is actually used there. Like, heavy. Like held heavy. Next we got his Soul Leech, which is that's his AoE, his big ass circle AoE. Increase healing per orb by 1. So it was healing for 3. And I don't know if that's because I don't know if a trait gives you a healing. Also, I might have to look into that. But I believe it's either 2 or 3 without any of the traits. So don't quote me on that. I think it's 3? I might have to look that up. So now it's either gonna be 3 or it's gonna be 4. Okay, so talent Blood Omen. That's his main blessing, I believe. The one with the 3 major blessings. That's the one where he yeah, that's the one he does more damage to. That's the other one's Speed Demon. It goes from increased damage from 4 to 6. And Blood Omen, that's when they're over their I need some references. Alright, so let me just correct myself. So the Blood Omen is just flat damage. It's his divine trait, but it's the flat damage that you get. So it went from 4 to 6, which is pretty good. That's the one where your abilities cost 1 more hurting yourself to do more damage, which is a pretty good trade. You're still hurting yourself with only 1 more damage to do extra 2 damage, like with the buff. So 4 to 6, it's still a pretty good value. Pretty good value difference. So next we're going to Speed Demon. So Speed Demon going to movement speed from 20% to 30%. And the distance from your target is 25 meters to 35 meters. That's a big... That's you know how far 35 meters is? That's so far. That is so far. And 30% movement speed is really good. But 35 meters is so far. They could have just bumped it up to 30. That's big. That's a big one. So you'll have that. Let's see, Speed Demon, you basically have to be within the range of the target that is over 100 vulnerability to get that movement speed. That's it. They have to be over 100 and you get that 30%. You have to be within 35 meters of them to get that speed boost. And again, 35 meters is far. That is far. And I'll even show it. I'll even show it in game. But when we get there, that's far, bro. Okay, next we got his Cursed Scythe. Increase extra on the hunt damage to 15. On the hunt, if you don't know, on the hunt is his scythe cone. You know, it got increased to 15. I believe it was 13 before, or 12. I wish they had the previous number there, but now it's 15. Talent Marked for Death. Increase damage to 3. I believe Marked for Death, it was either 1 or 2. Because it deals an extra 3 damage to targets over 100 vulnerability. Now, I believe it was... And then his Blessing is weakened in numbers. Increase the outnumber distance from 8 meters to 10 meters. Again, giving the meters on how close they have to be with you to get that benefit. Amazing. Again... These buffs, I feel, are so unnecessary. I feel like the only good buff was this one. In my opinion. I feel like this one was the only good one. Only necessary one. Other than that, I think he was fine. He got super buffed. That is Thanatos in a nutshell. Then we got general stuff. So, new shiny icons for PlayStation app. Nice. Yes, our PS players. Look at that. Better messaging for players who don't have the up-to-date NVIDIA drivers. Awesome. That's me. That's me. Except mine's always up to date, but that's me. And then some bug fixes. And then that is the end. For bug fixes, we got fixing crashes, fixing where players could start casting and cancel aerial abilities after an air light to break out of an end, lag early and jump on the ground. Okay, cool. So basically lag issues. Comeback talents should now probably be reduced. I didn't even realize that talent wasn't being used correctly, but then again, I don't even want to use it because I'd rather use something else. But those are the patch notes, the random patch notes we got. But we're gonna go in game and look at the stuff real quick. All right, y'all. So let's see. Here I am. With new Thanatos, updated Thanatos. Let me just tell you right now. So let's go over his stuff here. So let's start with his light attacks. Okay. So the distance of 2 meters, 1 meter, 1 meter, right? Did you see that? Did you see how far I went? You see how far this is? This point to this point. See how far that is? That is so far. That is so unnecessary. That is super far. I don't know what it was before. I wish they would do the previous stats that they changed. Bro, that is so far. That's basically 5 meters. Like, this is... See, this is... Here to here is 5 meters. This is like 10 meters. Right? It's like 10 meters, right? About 10 meters? Or is that 10 meters? Yeah, it's basically 10 meters. Hold on. Get you out of here. Yeah, it's basically 10 meters. His first auto is 10 meters. Holy, what the... Wow, okay, that's ridiculous. And let's go over his... So his heavy. I don't know the difference what it was before. Like, I don't remember what it was before, but let's see. Okay, so I do kind of see where I used to hit and now where it hits. kind of see it now. Because it looks like at the ends of the feathers going off, you can hit it now. Yeah, I want to say the ends of the feathers go really hit it now. See, I feel like that's the only buff he should have got. Like, that buff was perfectly fine. That was really it. Okay, so we'll go into his soul thing now. So yeah, so before it was doing 3, now you're doing 4. You're healing for a lot now. Like, it being just 1 is a lot. Because you get 6 orbs from one person. You're healing for 24. 6 orbs into 4. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of healing. Now, if you buff his E, because it can go up to 5. It can heal for 30. It's possible to heal for 30. There is another trait that gives him basically. Look at that. What? Then Blood Omen I can't really try. I don't know what it was before, but it does more damage now. I'm sorry, I went from 4 to 6, my bad. Speed Demon. So the radius 35 meters. You know how far 35 meters is? Right over there. Do you see that? Do you see how far this is? Do you see how far this is? 35 meters? Do you see that? That is so far, bro. That is so far. And you're getting 30%. They could have left it at 20% and then left it at like 30 meters or 35. Either way, I don't think it needed 30% speed. Again, in my opinion, Thanatos really didn't need a buff. He was perfectly fine. So the weakness of numbers, basically if you're getting outnumbered, the distance from 8 meters to 10. So basically, if they're all like huddled around you, basically, it's 10 meters is pretty good. Not gonna lie, 10 meters is pretty good. Well, that was all of Thanatos' change. I guess we could look at Susano, but I really don't like him. I mean, I could show you it. So basically, reduced attack distance of second light attack by 2 meters and his third light attack by 2 meters. So when he's spinning, I think they're trying to give it a chance so people can dodge out of it. But either way, it's so consistent, I don't think it's gonna be making a difference. Because you're also stunned within the combo, so lowering the distance excuse me, lowering the distance doesn't feel like it's gonna really change anything because you're already up in their face and you're already in the combo, in the stun. Well, that was the patch notes. Those are the small patch notes. Alright, y'all. Well, that is the end of those patch notes. Hope y'all enjoyed the review of mine. I'm gonna hopefully try and clean this up. This was kind of just like out of the blue. We'll definitely make this more cleaner. Just gotta get that out there. But I will definitely see you guys soon. You guys in the next one.